Hello, welcome to More Yoga with me, Emily. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you're doing well and that you've had a good night's sleep. And if you haven't, like me, then maybe you'll feel better a little or a little bit better after yoga today. Today you're going to need ideally something like two blocks or two balls or two books or teacups. I don't know how daring you want to be. And you don't need them necessarily, but they're going to help us get into our shoulders a little bit today. And that's as much as I want to say because I don't want to blow the surprise. So let's start lying down. If you're comfortable on your back, that's where I'm going to start. If you'd prefer to be on your side or on your belly, then by all means, go where you need to go. Maybe take a little loop of your shoulders or shoulder blades onto your back. Your legs could be extended, or you might have the knees bent. If so, take your feet a little bit wider than your hips, maybe even mat width apart, and let your knees hang in toward each other. And that takes the muscular strain out of keeping the legs stable. It also produces a really nice release for the sacrum and the low back. Alternatively, maybe you want to take the soles of the feet together and the knees wide and more of a butterfly position. Go wherever feels comfortable for you today. And for a few breaths, inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh your breath away. A couple more. And then with each exhale, let your body relax a little bit more. Continue breathing however you need to, whether it's in and out through your nose or your mouth. Start to observe your breath a little bit more, noticing the inhale and the exhale. Noticing that tiny pause at the top of the inhale and at the bottom of the exhale. You might notice the gentle rise and fall of your belly or your chest, or the widening of your rib cage on the earth. You might notice qualities like deep or shallow, warm or cool, moist or dry. And maybe you don't notice any of those things, and that is fine too. Last couple of breaths here. And then start to bring a little movement back to your body, whatever way feels best for you to wake up. Or it could be a big yawn, or a little rock of the head from side to side, or a wiggle of the fingertips or toes. Maybe you take a big overhead morning stretch, lengthening through the whole body. And then start to draw your knees into your chest and take a little rock from side to side. And you might be pulling your knees toward you, kind of deepening the compression on the front of the body, or maybe you're just kind of loosey-goosey. You might draw circles with the legs and the hip sockets here, one direction and then the other. And then pause back in center. So the first option will be to have your feet on the floor and then pick up your right leg and cross it over top of the left. Right? So just crossing the legs, not so much a figure four, right? More like if you were seated and had your legs crossed. And then reach your arms up to the sky. Sweep your right arm under your left. And then here you might grab the back of your shoulders. Or maybe you start to bring the forearms together like an eagle bind or even the fingertips into the palm. But rather than it being really super active, I want you to rest your hands on your forehead if the palms are joined. Otherwise, just hands on the shoulders. So first option is to stay here in this sort of supine variation of eagle. Maybe you start to de-weight the legs and a little draw of belly button to spine. Curl your knees toward you. Last option is to gently curl your elbows toward your knees. Last couple breaths here. And then slowly release everything down. Unwind your arms, unwind your legs, shake it out if you'd like to, and then we'll switch sides. So right foot comes to the earth, cross the left thigh over top of the right, or cross at the knees, and then arms reach up to the sky. Bring your left arm under your right this time, and then you might grab the back, the shoulders, bring the forearms together, or the full eagle bind. Let your hands rest to your forehead, though. I'm not going to do it on this side because it hurts on my shoulder, and that's something I should get checked out. And is a really good reminder, never move through pain, right? Pain is telling you that there's something wrong with what you're doing or with your body. So first option is to just stay here. Second option is to start to de-weight the legs using the muscles of the core, drawing your thighs toward you or your knees toward you. Last option is to gently curl the elbows toward the knees. Try to keep the tension out of the neck if you can. Last couple breaths wherever you need to be. And then slowly release back down to the floor. Unwind your legs, unwind your arms, shake it all out. And then some of you might feel awesome here, grabbing the backs of the thighs and doing a couple rocks and rolls up and down your spine, maybe playing with it, shoulder blades to sit bones and back and forth. If that doesn't feel good, then roll to one side, use your hands, press yourself up, and we'll meet on hands and knees. Taking your time to get there, eventually sitting up with knees underneath your hips. Toes can be tucked or untucked behind you, and hands outer shoulder width apart or wider. So you want the outer edge of your shoulder to line up with the middle of your wrist. And then drawing belly button to spine, fingers spread nice and wide. As you inhale, lift the tailbone to the sky, hollow through the lower back. Wrap your shoulder blades toward each other, coming into cow. And exhale, tuck your tailbone under, press the floor away, round through the spine into cat. So a couple more of these undulations. Inhale into cow. Exhale, round into cat on your own time, on your own breath. See how it feels today. Maybe your body is asking for a little bit of other natural movement, maybe a little wiggle of the tail from side to side, maybe some bigger rolls through the torso. If the low back is tight, then you might want to send your hips back toward your heels while you're rounded into cat. Releasing into the low back. Wherever you need to go. Last couple breaths. And then slowly come back to center. Little draw of belly button to spine. Keep those hands nice and wide if they've migrated toward each other. And then option one is to stay here on your hands and knees. Option two is to shuffle the knees back or the hands forward,